Camera rolling and action.
Would you kindly like to introduce yourself formally?
My name is Haridas Thakur Das.
And we'd like to ask you some revealing questions about how you came and joined ISKCON. And please share with us your memories.
How revealing.
As you like.
Okay. I first met the devotees actually on Trafalgar Square in 1971. And they gave me a card to go to the temple. But I couldn't find the temple, I got lost. And I understand now, of course, that I wasn't ready. Then in 1974, I was engaged in running hashish. And I was caught in Dover, and as a result of that, I was given 3.5 years in Her Majesty's prisons. I had a friend prior to my being incarcerated, a lady friend, and she would send me books. These books had nothing to do with Krishna consciousness. But what was interesting was that, unbeknown to myself, someone visited her house in London and introduced themselves and stated they were sent by the Labour Exchange for a job. So anyway, she gave them a job to paint the flat upstairs, or the top, the attic. And she told them about me. And she was getting me books, so they said, okay. And then they brought her a book, and she sent it in to me, and I got it in 1975, before Christmas. And it was the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Part 1. When I looked at that book and saw Srila Prabhupada on the back with the devotees, I had no interest in reading it. So my impression was the Hare Krishnas, they just jump up and down, no philosophy. So but I didn't like being in a 3-up cell. So I wanted to get out. You know, they smoked and all that kind of stuff and talked kind of rubbish. And I put in for a change. So I was given a single cell on a different landing. And as it is the usual case in there, when a person leaves a cell, they have to give all the library books in, everything. That's the system. So when I went to this cell, there were no library books. And I couldn't take mine out to hand them in. So I had nothing to read. So I was doing meditation, because I'd been doing meditation for years before this. I started in 1973. Kundalini, all that kind of stuff. So I was lying on the bed, meditating, and all of a sudden a thought came to my head. Oh, there's that book in the drawer there. So I took it out and I started to read. I never stopped. I couldn't stop. And then I got to the part where Srila Prabhupada wrote, just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and your life will become sublime. So I wrote that down on a piece of paper. So I started chanting it all the time. And anyway, as time went on, I wrote to Riktananda in Los Angeles. He was the secretary of the BBT, and he sent me some magazines, and he introduced me to Rohini Nandan in England. Actually, Riktananda came to see me. I was an Isle of Wight prisoner at that time, and he came to see me on his way to India, which is very nice, because I never had association with devotees. I only had association of saintly persons in Prabhupada's books. Anyway, he was sending me different books, and Rohini also sent me different books. He came to visit me a few times. And I got parole. First time up, I got parole, so I did 2 years. And I was actually the vegetarian cook in there as well, so that was good. As soon as I came out, I got to the door of the prison, big wooden door. As I stepped out, they were there. Rohini, Shasta Chakshas. They put a garland on me and put a big sweet in my mouth. And then we took the bus down to the ferry, across the ferry into the old Cortina, because we're talking now 1977. And then we went to Berry Place. So Radha London Ishwar, the first deities I ever saw. And then from there I went to the manor, and I went on to the Bhakti program. And actually, inside, you see, I'd been chanting 50 rounds a day for ages. And I was, and obviously I wasn't affected by the politics that sometimes go on inside, that I found out later. And I would just had these wonderful sadhus in Prabhupada's books. And so I was very enthusiastic. At night time, I couldn't wait to get up in the morning. I couldn't wait for the night to finish. It's quite amazing. That doesn't happen anymore. But then they found I was very good on Sankirtan. And I was good at dealing with people, whatever. So very soon I went out and travelling Sankirtan. And that was on Kripa Moy's party. And anyway, I did okay. And then I went on another party. I think it was Satyabhak's party. Then another party, Gokulananda. And then Ananda Moya. Ananda Moya's party, by the way, was the best. And the evening was sometimes they had chips, pizza, and ice cream. I have to say this because it was really interesting. It was really good. Unlike some parties where it was like dates and butter, you know, really austere, and peanuts.
Can you tell us about your book distribution, you know, scores?
My scores. I've got to say this. I won 2 marathons as a Bhakta, and I won a few. I won one Christmas marathon. I collected actually about $10,000, about £7,000.
Wow.
That one, yeah. And I also won the Prabhupada Marathon in 1978. And I came 5th, 6th, whatever, in other marathons before then. But after that, actually, the real, how do you say it, the scores I did were when I went to Norway. Norway is such a fantastic country. And everyone gave. Not one person refused by them. In fact, the only person ever to refuse me a donation was an Englishman. And it's true. It's actually true. Everyone gave a donation. Wonderful.
I understand that Srila Prabhupada dictated a letter to you.
Oh yes, Srila Prabhupada sent me a letter.
When was that?
1976, maybe 77, 76. I can't remember exactly. But I wrote to him. I was distributing books in the prison. I was getting people to chant Hare Krishna. I got 5 people to chant Hare Krishna, distribute books, and I wrote to Prabhupada. I wanted to know why. Anyway, it gets a bit. Let's think now. It was about the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus the Christ.
Oh yes.
About how to bring that into modern day society to show that we're bona fide, etc. And anyway. Prabhupada was pleased that I was getting people to chant Hare Krishna, and he said that the Srimad Bhagavatam, you know, is the ultimate authority answer for all problems in society, and I should come to Bhaktivedanta Manor when I get out. Yes.
That was his instruction.
Yes. Yeah.
Very good.
Which I did. Yes.
And cut.